Hello, it's April 15th, a little later today because I was busy this morning, and it's snowing, but in a kind of a wet and sloppy fashion. I put a plastic bag on the handle of my gimbal, and the iPhone is supposed to be water resistant for like half an hour down to 1.5 meters, so I don't think a little snow is going to bother it. But yeah, it's still snowing, or snowing again. So I don't know if I'll do a very long walk or how I'm going to go here exactly. Might just follow my usual sort of along the creek path today. But hey, I thought it'd be cool to come out and walk in the rain. So snow, not quite rain. So here I am. Temperature's right around freezing, I think. So you can see the roads are melting, and it shouldn't be slippery like it was yesterday when I was out earlier in the morning before it had warmed up. It's certainly wet. It is spring. It is coming. Things are still melting, and everybody says we need the moisture, so. Pretty, say that for it. So if you happen to see this live on Facebook or YouTube, leave me a note. Enjoy the wintry scenery here. It looks like hoarfrost, but it's wet snow stuck to the trees. So I had some nonfiction work to do this morning that I really had to get done before I came out because the person the editor I'm doing it for is in the Eastern time zone, and so 2 hours difference. So I wanted to get it to him before late in the afternoon, which it would have been if I'd put everything off to do it. My gimbal is a little confused because of the way I put the plastic on the handle here. It may be interfering with some of the motion of the gimbal. So hopefully it manages. Whoop. Was the rubber band I have holding the plastic on the handle got onto the little joystick thing and pushed it down. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to work very well or not, but oh well, at least it's different. You look down the snowy streets with the trees looking quite Christmassy, which would be fine if this wasn't April 15th, halfway through the month of April. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's snowing, I have no regrets, because it isn't snowing snow, you know, it's snowing violets. I amuse myself. Somewhere along here I was looking at leaves budding out before, and now they're all buried under the snow. Not buried, but certainly hidden by it a bit. Yeah, here we go. They're budding out, but they've also got snow on them. Oh well, nature will manage, it always does. Quite pleasant temperature-wise. So the other thing I did this morning was interviewed someone for the podcast, and the someone whom I interviewed was quite an exciting someone, because it was Jane Yolen, author of some 400 books for readers of all ages, lots of children's books, but also for middle grade, young adult. She's written poetry, She's 82 years old. She's got more things in the works than you can shake a stick at. Very impressive. Here we are on the dike. If you happen to be watching live, please leave me a note. I know my time is a little different today, so I might be getting different people watching. Or nobody. It was snowing a lot heavier than this not that long ago, so I kind of avoided the heaviest by coming out when I did. I'm not worried about the iPhone, which is supposed to be, this is an iPhone 11, which is supposed to be good for, 1.5 meters underwater for up to half an hour. Not getting that wet with that little snow falling on it. The gimbal's probably okay, but it is not waterproof really in any way, so that's why I put a plastic bag over the handle where the buttons and so forth are. Whew. The snow along here is not particularly beaten down. Still a bit heavy to walk through. And of course everything's very damp because it is just around freezing. Which on the plus side means the roads are melting. The snow on the roads are melting, not the roads themselves. I think maybe we'll go over into Lakeview neighborhood, which I've walked through many times, just because the snow along the dike here is kind of not much fun to walk in. Creek in the snow. So I think I will go down to the left here to start with, down toward Albert Street. Hi, Terry. What did it say? Thought we were done with the snow. Sorry, that was my hand over it so I could read your note against the white of the snow. Yeah, I thought we were done with the snow too. Can't quite read the text because of the white background. Is it icy? No. Too warm.
The hair dye is just on that one little strip of the cat.
It is very pretty though. That's why I decided to come out even though it was snowing, since it's not that cold. Of course, I did go out when it was really blowing a blizzard, 10 days ago. This is more of a gentle Christmas card kind of snow, but again, it's after Easter, so it'll all be gone soon enough. Up above freezing after today constantly, and 10 or 12 I think on the weekend, at least in that sort of 8, 9, 10 range next week, so that'll take it off again, and hopefully this is the last time, but there's no guarantee. I was watching my walking commuter guy, Gabe, walking commuter on YouTube yesterday. Watched a little bit of him walking around New York. There's flowers blooming and the trees are turning quite green, but even he said they could still get more snow. April's not safe, and it certainly isn't safe here from snow, as you can see. Afternoon, I'll get to focus in on the tangled stars again. Went back to the beginning, and I'm working my way forward to get a fresh run at the second half of the book. Just to solidify things in my head that I've discovered as I wrote the 70,000 words or so I've got so far. It's contracted at 150,000. I don't think it's going to go that long. I think it'll be longer than the 100,000. That's more typical. It might be more like 125. But I don't really know yet. Anybody besides Terry out there watching live? Drop me a note. It is lunchtime. What else have you got to do in your lunch hour at least if you're in Central Time? It's lunchtime. I take off my hat, except it's keeping the snow off my head. I don't know if you can see the snow. Should be able to at least catch glimpses of it. It was really coming down much harder than this earlier, and it may be again. I looked at the radar, and there's still lots of snow to the west of us. You can hear the water running over there on the bridge, the dam really, coming down the spillway. Right there. Can't really see any water running, but it's running on the other side. Looking back at the park there. Don't seem to have much to say today compared to some days. Just enjoying the snow and the look of everything. Walking in right after this snow a few days ago, that video got a lot of extra views because it got posted, linked on a news site. I don't remember what it was. And so it's picked up some 85 views as opposed to what's more typical of these is maybe 20 over the first week or so that they're up. on YouTube. People watch the original live stream on Facebook as well as it becomes a recording. So there's probably 40 or 50 people watching each of these. Not necessarily the same people every time. Walking down Albert here, I thought I'll just walk down whatever the next road is here, instead of walking back along Regina Avenue. Go down to Elphinstone and then head back home from there. Should be a little shorter. I haven't had lunch yet, so at least you get a good sense of what it's like today here in foggy, snowy Regina. I don't like to walk along Albert too long because of this noise. It's our big north-south artery. Cuts right through the middle of town. There's the legislative building over there in the snow. Coming into view. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. Oh, there's a note. Who's that from? Also from Terry. Let's see. Won't be long for a while. Enjoy my walk. I will. Yeah, you can hear a lot of birds on here sometimes. Thanks for checking in, Terry. Much quieter along here. Oof. Anybody else is watching live, please leave me a comment or a note so I know. I know what I know. Nice house there in the corner. I like that one. I like that kind of traditional style. The 2 stories, rectangular, symmetrical front. Shutters. It's a nice look for me. The aforementioned walking commuter, wherever he was walking along Central Park area, was looking at some places for sale listed in the tens of millions, 20 million, that sort of thing. Our condo off of Central Park, as I pointed out yesterday, is not worth that much. But then our Central Park here in Regina is considerably smaller and of less note. Although Wascana Center is bigger than Central Park, as I recall. One of, if not the largest urban park in North America. I pointed these out before, these weird traffic control devices, little islands in the middle of the intersection. Again, nice view of the overarching elms in the snow. Somewhere over here is where Gail Bowen, I don't remember exactly where. Gail Bowen is a noted mystery author from here in Regina. And I took a picture of her once that they used as a publicity shot. And it was on one of these streets with the snow. Oh. You're welcome, Terry, she said. Thanks for providing entertainment. You get entertainment, I get exercise. That's the goal here. Also, you know, if I succeeded in convincing somebody who comes upon these to buy my books, that would be good. You can find my books everywhere. Edward Willett, 2 T's on Willett. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Chapters Indigo. You can also get them directly from me, edwardwillettshop.com. My main website is edwardwillett.com. My publishing company is Shadowpaw Press, shadowpawpress.com. My podcast is The World Shapers, theworldshapers.com. And that's not even all my websites. There's shardsofexcalibur.com for my young adult Arthurian modern day fantasy series. And there's ecblake.com for my pseudonym, E.C. Blake. There is, or was, a leearthurchain.com for my other pseudonym. But he's only had one book, so I haven't kept that one up. I don't remember if I've kept it active or not. I'm sure I still own the domain name, but I don't know if the site's actually up or not. There's also wordsbywillett.com, which is more focused on freelance writing, and although I have it, I don't believe I've ever had a sniff of freelance writing work come through it. Snowing a little harder again now. I like this particular modern house on the corner. I think it's a nice one of that style. And takes good advantage of its corner here. It's very big, that house, but very nice looking. Oop, I have to slow down here. 30-kilometer-hour school zone. Walking pretty fast, but I think I'm safely under that. Sure feels like a crawl in a car, though. They used to be 40-kilometer-hour school zones, and the 30 just seems so slow. Down in Weyburn, where I grew up and lived before coming here, and was newspaper editor and reporter, the ordinary speed limit is 40 around Weyburn, which seems really slow after you come from Regina. There's Lakeview School, one of the older schools in the neighborhood. Elphinstone is inside up there, where you can see there appears to be a house in the middle of the street. And we'll head home from there. So this will be probably a half-hour walk at most by the time I'm home, maybe a little more. Not one of my hour-long walks. Tomorrow, though, if I stick to my plans, will be my weekly walk around Wascana Lake. So you can watch the changing seasons. I'm sure it'll be melting, but there will be snow still left tomorrow. Everybody else has tuned in live, leave me a comment, and I will hopefully see it and respond on YouTube or Facebook. Park is too much, but both of my lighter weight spring jackets, both leather jackets, both have holes in them. They're being repaired. Might get those tomorrow. They said by the end of the week. But, see all the snow on the bushes there, clinging. Big fluffy flakes. I just caught one on my tongue. I know Lucy says in Charlie Brown Christmas that December snowflakes aren't ripe yet, but by that standard, April snowflakes must be overripe. Lots of moisture content, though. Playground and park over there, and outdoor rink down at the end of it. That obviously is not in operation. It's too warm for that now, despite the snow. Another modern house, two of them actually side by side. Must have been built by the same people because they have matching garages. One's white and one's gray, but otherwise the garages are the same. The backs of the houses aren't quite. So another ultra modern one here I've walked by before. Okay, now we will turn right, heading north again along Elphinstone. It's not far to the intersection up there. We go take a turn through Waterfall Park. It's snowing harder again now. So my toque is undoubtedly getting quite wet. My head's not wet yet. At least I was smart enough to wear my boots, not my shoes today. How long has this been so far? Yeah, it'll be 35 or 40 minutes by the time we get back, so not embarrassingly short. I'll walk around the lake tomorrow, that'll be an hour. Mostly slush, not ice, on the driveways where you often get ice because of cars packing it down. But it's slushy today, so that's good. Oh, if we're lucky, we'll catch this light. Probably a fairly long light, I hope. It's not giving me a warning yet. Yeah, I'll make it. There goes the countdown. Oh, I am taking my hat off even if it is snowing. My head's just too warm. We're going to go up here and then go down into Waterfall Park in the snow. I may regret taking my hat off. I can already feel my head getting wet now. But I was hot, and now I'm not. Very wintry when you get the unbroken field of snow like that. The Waterfall Park is down in there. We've been through a few times now. If you have walked with me before. There's that line from, what was it, the West Wing, where they were always going down the hallway saying, "Walk with me." And then they'd have some deep conversation about whatever one-sided political point they wanted to make in that episode. Ooh. And there's more snow on the steps than anticipated. So I had to be careful there. You can't actually see the steps, which is always a little worrisome. So we'll go down inside. Nobody apparently has walked through the snow here, so yay me. I always knew I was a groundbreaking pioneer. Or at least a snow-breaking pioneer. Oof. And decide where to go next. Unbroken snow in here. I think I'll take the steps down here. I'll go across the footbridge and then up the other side. Oh, we walked over the footbridge going the other way. It's the first time I walked this way on one of these walks. Will be a waterfall on those rocks. Once everything is from normal. Oh, there's a bit of a path here, so we'll take that. Oof, and there's a step I couldn't see. I don't know that it's a path, but people have walked along it, so that'll do. That'll do big. That'll do. Very wet snow. Great snowman weather and snowball weather. Snow fort building weather. None of which I'm going to do. I'm just going to walk. Well, somewhere along here's the actual path. So here it is. Now we'll get back on the path to the footbridge, although I may go further down the dike to a different step. Only had one live commenter today. If you happen to be watching live, drop me a note on Facebook or YouTube and I'll say hi. There's the creek and the footbridge. Actually, I think I will go on down onto street level from there just because the snow was quite heavy on the dike. Sticks to your feet. But the water's very still, and with the snow, it's quite pretty in a not at all like April sort of way. Well, not like stereotypical April anyway. Like Saskatchewan April, sure. It looks like flowering bushes. They look very much like the bushes I saw in Gabe's, the walking commuters walk in New York yesterday, except those bushes had blossoms on them. These are blossoms of snow. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow. Maybe they're Edelweiss. I never thought of that until just now. Bloom and grow forever. Well, if they're Edelweiss and they require April snow, I just as soon they not bless my homeland forever. I can melt anytime now. Blossoms of snow. I amuse myself. Okay, here's the footbridge. So we've come a loop since we went the other way when I first came off of here. Started this. View of the creek. View of the bridge. I'm gonna go down on street level to go home from here. I like to take the ramp just to be different. Although clearly the stairs were less snowy. This is Cameron Street if you're following along at home. Another big one going up over here, being worked on. So there's a mixture of newer and older houses throughout this neighborhood. Usually the old ones are tiny and the new ones are huge. Seems to be the trend. That's clearly on 2 lots. What was originally there, I would think. That's new compared to the original houses on here, but clearly built in probably the 60s. Just going to walk straight on up to Leopold Crescent today, I think. Avoid puddles if I can. You're running out of time to leave me a comment if you're on here live, or if you're just joining me. If there's any burning question you want to ask about Cameron Street, now's the time, because I'm walking up that very street. Past these very houses. It's a new one. New one. Comes the mailman. Mostly new ones along here. There aren't very many of the old ones left. There's a little one over there that still would have been built here probably post First World War. Like when I used to live in one street over. That might date to the same time but has been remodeled. That's an older one that's been remodeled at some point. Quite cute. Then again, modern one kind of matches the old neighborhood. Ultra modern one. So it's a real mixture. This has all changed a lot. When I first moved into this neighborhood, it was all the original old houses. So all of these newer ones have been built since I lived down this way. And there's these lovely row houses over here, which are nice. I haven't been in one, but they're attractive on the outside. And a fairly unusual thing in Regina. I know of a couple of others, not as nice as these. These, I should say, since I quit pointing at it. I will be ready to eat when I get in. Ready to cool off, oddly enough. I'm actually going to open my coat. A little cooler. Leopold Crescent here. The snow continues its gentle descent. So coming from this direction, I'll be stopping the feed at the traditional stop sign. It's a short walk, but at times in the heavy snow, sticky snow, it was fairly strenuous. Well, clearly not a lot of live viewers today. I mean, live, as in watching the live stream. Presumably all my viewers are live. If there are any undead watching, well, please let me know. That would be cool. I could do an interview with a vampire. There could be a book for that, a book in that. And after all, The Moonlit World, my latest book from Daw, does have vampires in it. And werewolves. And peasants. Werewolves and vampires and peasants. Oh my. Werewolves and vampires and peasants. Oh my. Werewolves and vampires and peasants. Oh my. That's the short version of The Moonlit World by Edward Willett, available everywhere from Daw Books. Coming out in mass market paperback in August. Currently in trade paperback and ebook. Wherever fine books are sold online. You might find it in a bookstore, but it's been out for quite a while, so best bet is online. Okay, here we come to the traditional stop sign where I will traditionally stop and where I will stop today, being a traditionalist. Thank you for coming along on this snowy walk.